Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And set, mark, action. Okay, so let's do a quick review here of this epic, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Jodie Comer, and Ben Affleck. The Last Duel brings together the movie stars of Damon and Affleck, again telling the story of this medieval duel to the death. This movie is surrounded by great performances by all and is directed very well by Ridley Scott. Gives great atmosphere of the time period and just soaks you into that time period and makes you it looks like you're looking at the 1300s, and you're taken into this way of life of the 1300s. Women's role in a marriage is portrayed here, the role of men, the role of having an offspring of a man to take over your land. The importance of land is also very much a big deal in this movie, and it's just this atmosphere all around this time period is greatly portrayed in this movie and is one of the biggest takeaways I have from this. And then there is great directing techniques in here. Like, I feel like, I'm not sure, but I feel like the color saturated in certain scenes that are troublesome based on what this movie is about, which is just a man defending his wife who got raped. And the way the court ruled is for them to duel to the death and pretty much let God decide who's telling the truth and who is lying based on who's going to win this battle between these two men who are friends and enemies and have a long storied history together. This movie is structured very creatively, and for me, I didn't really see anything like this before. If I have, it's been a long time, but the story is told from 3 different point of views. You see the reliability of each narrator and what they think happened during the events of this movie and what could have actually happened. You really don't know the truth of any. There might be bits and pieces of the truth in each story, but the story you tend to believe, or the director wants you to believe, is a woman's, and it's the one I believe too. Matt Damon's character's story is a little skewed by just his pride and his wanting to be recognized in a certain way based on how he was brought up. And then Adam Driver's is viewed as kind of taking advantage of what he can to get ahead in life type thing, and that he does no wrong and that he has all this power and abuses it, but in his mind he doesn't abuse anything. It's just should be given to him, and he thinks he deserves that respect. And you understand the frustrations of each character, the motivations of each character, why they act a certain way. You just get subtlety too in the acting of each character. Just with the look, you see what the character is dealing with on the inside. And there's a kiss you see from 3 different viewpoints that can be interpreted 3 different ways based on who story we're looking at here. And that's another great aspect, a great directing skill by Ridley Scott. And this movie is also very brutal. There's quite a bit of battle scenes, war scenes in this that see arrows going through people's faces, arrows, sword battles. It has all this stuff. And then the final duel, the last duel, I would say, between Matt Damon's character and Adam Driver's character is really well done. I think it matches the style of how they were fighting in medieval times, the 1300s during that point. And then the death of that character who loses that battle, I won't spoil anything, is great, and it's just a creative way to get a conclusion to this story and see very poetic in how he dies too, and where the blood loss comes from. And then one last thing I have to talk about is Ben Affleck. Everyone's very weird in this movie, except for maybe Adam Driver. But Matt Damon made the choice of doing a mullet, and Ben Affleck is blonde with a blonde goatee, which is very out of character. But it was distracting at first, but after a while, I just got sucked in the movie and didn't see Matt Damon or Ben Affleck. I just saw the character. So they did really well with the acting and just made me believe that this character is the own entity and not just Matt Damon and his star power, Ben Affleck and his star power. But Ben Affleck was over the top acting in a couple scenes. I feel like he just didn't seem like the character was too arrogant and not restrained enough. But that being said, the clothes in this movie were incredible. Ben Affleck is a rich man in the movie, and he shows that with very elaborate robes, clothing, shoes, gold everywhere. It was very great to see the costume design of this movie and see how they portrayed royalty based on the clothes you had in it. And then the movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, but to me, it did not seem long at all, as it was kind of split into 3 parts with those 3 different story narratives going with each character explaining their point of view, kind of like in a trial setting, since there was one that took place. And you're just intrigued to see which each character says happens and what they believe happened and how they lie to themselves or all that stuff just to make their lie the truth. But this movie is a great movie to watch. It's out now in theaters. I encourage you to go check it out. For me, this movie is a solid 85 out of 100. Go check it out now in theaters. Bye, guys.